Family Violence and Child Abuse by Madison Heracles. Why not report? A victim's reasoning for staying with their abusers are often complicated and multifaceted, and, in most cases, are based on the reality that their abuser will follow through with the threats that they have used to keep them trapped. They may also remember the good times they used to share together, and even still love their abuser. They may fear that their abuser will hurt or kill them, they will hurt or kill their children, they will win custody of the children, or they will ruin their victim financially. The list goes on and on. The victim in violent relationships knows their abuser and is fully aware of the extent they will go to make sure they have control over the victim. The victim literally may not be able to safely escape or protect the ones that they love. One study found in interviews with men who have killed their wives that either threats of separation by their partner or actual separation were most often the precipitating events that led to the murder. Also, many religions forbid divorce, meaning that the victim would have to turn their back on their faith in order to escape. There are many societal barriers which may keep a victim from leaving. They may fear that they will not be able to supply their child with the same quality of life that they had before. Leaving may mean taking a serious financial hit, or even becoming homeless. Society also reinforces the narrative that relationships need to be saved, even if it means enduring violence. Oftentimes, police will incorrectly treat domestic violence as a domestic dispute and even arrest the victim for defending themselves. They may also dissuade the victim from filing charges by downplaying the severity of the situation. Despite the issuing of a restraining order, there is little to prevent a released abuser from returning and repeating the abuse. Isolation from friends and families, either by the jealous and possessive abuser, or because they feel ashamed of the abuse and try to hide signs of it from the outside world, also contributes to that sense that there is nowhere to turn. Lastly, societal factors teach women to believe their identities and feelings of self-worth are contingent upon getting and keeping a man. Violence against women and girls is among the most widespread and devastating human rights violation in the world. But, as we discussed, much of it is often unreported due to fear, shame, and gender inequality. A third of all women and girls experience physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. Half of women killed worldwide were killed by their partners or family, and violence perpetuated against women is as common a cause of death and incapacity for those of reproductive age as cancer, and a greater cause of ill health than road accidents and malaria combined. While most people in financial need do not maltreat their children, poverty can increase the likelihood of maltreatment, particularly when poverty is combined with other risk factors such as depression, substance use, and social isolation. These factors are brought on by the stress of financial instability and, in some cases, can lead to child abuse or neglect. In most cases, children who are abused or neglected suffer greater emotional than physical damage. Recognizing the importance of early trauma to future development is crucial to assisting the victims. Not all abused or neglected children will experience long-term consequences, but many will. Short-term consequences can manifest both physically and psychologically. The physical effects can be minor, such as small cuts and bruises. However, they can also escalate into much more serious injuries, such as concussions or broken bones. There is also an immediate psychological impact. The child will feel isolated and alone. They will be filled with fear. They will quickly learn that they do not know who to trust. Those short-term consequences can turn into serious long-term consequences down the road. Concussion suffered as a child can result in permanent brain injury that may cause important regions of the brain to fail to form or grow properly. The victim may also experience lifelong physical disability as a result of their injuries. Shaken baby syndrome is a serious example of this, with symptoms that include blindness, learning disabilities, mental retardation, and cerebral palsy. The child will also likely have long-term psychological difficulties such as low self-esteem and depression. Their future relationships may struggle as well, as a result of the trust issues developed at a young age. While there is no catch-all solution for ending domestic violence and child abuse, I believe that education is a great place to start. As I already discussed, one reason that victims fail to leave their abusers is that they are lacking in familial support. Educating families to know the signs and the resources available would help to combat this problem. Education on domestic violence should be started at younger ages. While I understand not wanting to frighten children, it is important for them to be able to recognize abuse and understand that there are people who can help. Lastly, there should be even more resources out there for victims seeking help. While researching for this project, I stumbled upon many excellent resources and feel that they could be very beneficial for someone struggling with domestic violence. Thank you.